Here today we have the brand new Roxon Titan. The Flex Titan is what they're calling this, and this is really a large multi-tool in a class of its own, and we'll get into all the particulars and all that it has. Pretty exciting brand new stuff from Roxon. Now, this is the pouch. We'll talk about that later, some of the accessories that come with it. But first of all, we've got these G10 handles on the outside. Even the G10 handles are rounded to make it a little bit more comfortable. Got the nice pocket clip. And then let's open it up and talk about the spring-loaded pliers. So it's one of those things that in a larger tool like this, a lot of people really do like spring-loaded pliers. Nice replaceable wire cutters right there. Now, these pliers will not be as thick as some other tools. Now, for instance, this is the brand new GHK 21. For some reason, I cannot find anywhere, but this is pretty much a Leatherman Surge style plier. These pliers will be a little smaller than that. They will be a little thinner at the tip. They're not that much thinner here at the base where the cutters are. So these pliers do definitely get a little bit more narrower at the tip compared to the Surge style pliers right here. They do look a little bit smaller, but some of that may be Roxon trying to keep the weight to more of a minimum with this tool set. Now, one of the other things we should probably talk about is the shears on the Titan. This will share a lot of similarities with the Roxon Phantom. This will be essentially an upgraded version of the Phantom. Right here we have the spring-loaded shears. Let's go ahead and try these out on some paracord. Right there, slices right through. This, I do have to say, that it does take a little bit used to gripping these pliers because they're so thick. You could always hold it like this, which might be a little bit more realistic, but they do seem, yeah, a little bit bigger and chunkier than most of the multi-tools we're used to, but that's fine. This, as many people have mentioned, is really an unusual multi-tool, and so it is hard to compare because it has a lot of capability that other multi-tools don't. All right, so those scissors seem to be really nice. Maybe I should just bring out these straps that I have tested with some of the other multi-tools. So let's go ahead, open this back up, just to show you what these shears can do, or what I assume they can do. We'll go ahead, close this all the way, cut through this strap, slices right through that, and then I need to order myself some new seatbelt. I am running out of seatbelt for testing, and cuts right through the seatbelt. All right, so that is the shears. And then on this side is the highly anticipated flex part of the system, where all these will be interchangeable tools. And this is what came on mine. I've got the file, saw, and this saw will be almost like your drywall saw, where it has that point, chisel, wire stripping functions, this cutter right here, like a rope cutter, a serrated blade, and then the can opener. So that's what came standard on mine. This, again, is the system where you can go ahead and just easily take these in and out and change them and make the perfect tool set that you want. And then this does have the locking, the unlocking function. So there we go. And then I can lock this in place. Yeah, and then the tools don't flop out of the handle. You don't have to worry about that at all. So that's pretty neat. All right, now on the other side, we have the other system, which is more the original Phantom system. Now with this one right here, this has this little lock that you push back, the friction lock there. All right, then we can take this off, and then we can take the knife off, and you can see right here where Roxon has updated this, so it has these almost like miniature ball bearings right there for the knife to sit on, so it's a lot smoother. And then you put this back on, and then you can change out the different blades with the just like the Phantom had. So that's really nice. So not only is this very smooth because of those bearings, but then it's very easy to change out as well. And I've got a bunch of different knife blades that would work for this. So for instance, here is a lot of these different options that you can use. These tools, the large file, comb I have in here. Yeah, right here's the comb, saw. There is just all different kinds of knife blades. Yeah, so many different options that Roxon gives you for not only the flex side, but this side. Now, what some of you guys have asked is, what about the utility knife? Now, that has been sort of an issue in the past where the utility knife blade seems not to fit as well. So let's go ahead. I'm going to close this handle up, take this off. I really do like these G10 handles. Yeah, they seem really nice. And then I'm going to put this in here like so. And it looks like I've got that in place. And there. Let's see. Let's close this up. Yeah, for whatever reason, it is harder to get this one in place. I'm not sure why. So I have been trying to use this utility blade with the system, and I've got the lock to come up just a little bit, not fully, and it doesn't seem like there's any travel on this spacer. Seems like it holds in pretty securely, but for some reason I can't get to come up all the way. Now I think Max Level EDC did mention that you need to maybe trim a little bit of the metal away from the utility knife. Yeah, I do think that's something Roxon needs to address. Perhaps they have already. This might be an older design of the utility knife, but either way, with all the other implements, as far as I know, this system works pretty good where you can just slot this into place. So that's really cool. Now, one of the cool things that they have done is they have actually added a handle slot right here for an ink pen. So let's go ahead and write on this cardboard box right here. There we go. Yep, works pretty good. But I think that's pretty awesome that they were able to do that, just sort of like Victorinox. So they fit that in right there next to the pocket clip. A lot of times on these larger multi-tools, we do not have a pocket clip, but on this one we do. Again, I want to emphasize that this is, yeah, probably one of the most comfortable larger multi-tools. That's what Roxon excels at, is making comfortable multi-tools. Ones that don't have extremely sharp edges, ones that are easy to open. These are all outside opening tools except the large shears, so everything else is outside opening. Yeah, really nice system. I think I'm going to carry this to work with me. That leads us into the next part where it comes with several accessories, and I think you guys will like that. At least mine did right here. Mine came with the bit driver. It came with the T-shank adapter, and then it did come with extra saw blades for the T-shank adapter, replaceable, or the tool for the replaceable wire cutters. Let's go ahead and swap out some of these tools for the bit driver. Now, for me, I would not need the rope cutter. I don't really need the serrated blade. I don't really need the can opener. So I'm trying to remember how many tools this bit driver is. I think it's actually 4 tools, it looks like. All right, so this would be the chisel, and then let's go ahead and yes, that would be enough tools. So you're taking out 4 tools to put the bit driver in. You would only have room left for 2 larger tools. I don't know. I'm not sure that too many people would be into having a system with that right there. Yeah, I don't know. The bit driver does take up an awful lot of space, unfortunately, but at least you have the option to swap it in and out. This is your T-shank holder. Let's go ahead, swap this in, get this on camera, swap all these out, put in the T-shank, and then I can put in this one right here. And I think that is pretty close to all that you would have on here. Let's see, maybe, I don't know. I don't think I can really fit the serrated blade in there that much. Yeah, so you have to just sort of play around with what tool set you want. It's nice that you have all this space, but some of these tools, like the bit driver, they end up taking that space up very, very, very quickly. So here we have, for the T-shank adapter, there are many different blades that are included. This one is for metal, and then this one right here is for wood and plastic, wood, metal, metal, and metal. But you can see with these different metal ones, some are a lot more aggressive than others. For instance, there we go. You can see the difference between the teeth size right there. Now, one of the things, if you're trying to source your own, is you'll only need to get, I think this is about 3-inch right here, this blade, or this one right here is only about 2.25 inches long, and that's where you're going to struggle, is to find T-shank blades that short. Now, you can use, I believe, T-shank blades longer. They just won't close in the handle. Now, there's a couple more things we need to cover. The blade that comes with your Roxon Titan, this is actually a D2 blade. So I really do appreciate Roxon trying to increase the quality of their metal. And this right here is all the flex options that you can find on their website. So you can see there is a huge amount of different tools that you can actually use and swap out in your Flex Titan. And then on this other side is all the large blades, the comb and the file and all these other different blades that we were talking about. Tells you how to use it. Again, it has this wrench right here with the warranty. 25-year warranty Roxon is now offering. Now, this tool is going up in price. It was $100 for those of you who could get early access, and then I believe it's around $119 for those who are buying it at the moment. So it will be a little pricier. Now, Roxon has promised that they're going to send me some discount codes, so keep tuned to the channel. I will definitely share those discount codes, and I do plan to do several comparison videos between this and some other multi-tools, so we get a better idea of how this compares to some of the other tools out there on the market. Now, this is the case for the Roxon Titan. You're able to undo this snap right there to put it underneath these straps to make it a little bit more secure. It's pretty much a generic case, but that's what you get for the Titan. All right, so let's go ahead and see how this measures lengthwise. In inches, this comes in just over 4 inches. So it actually will be a little bit of a smaller multi-tool compared to some of the other tools out there. It will come in just over 10.5 centimeters. And then when we bring in the scales, this is where it will be really telling. How much will this weigh? Well, it comes in at 311 grams. And then move it over to ounces, comes in 11 ounces. So it actually will be even lighter than the Leatherman Surge. Here is a quick comparison to the Leatherman Surge. This is at the top right here. This is at the bottom. And then here we go on the side. Of course, I have my modded hammer at the bottom, but there's a quick comparison. And then as far as thickness, yeah, there's a fair amount of similarities actually. It's a little bit shorter, and then maybe the Titan is a little bit wider, but in all, it's pretty close to the size of the Surge. All right, so this has just been a first look at the Flex Titan. Make sure to leave a bunch of questions you have about this below. I will try to address those questions in the next video, as I do probably several more videos on this Flex Titan. This is one of the bigger multi-tools that was anticipated this year in 2026. So make sure to leave comments, and I will try to address those in the next video.